What's going on, everyone? Scott here from the BreakEvens, giving you another FPL video today. And today we will be going through every team and their pre-season. So how the players went during pre-season, mainly just the ones that I've seen going around. I'm not going to post. I'm not going to talk about every single player in this video, but I will be posting the full list of players over on Twitter, which is at BreakEvens Pod, and on the Facebook page at the BreakEvens. So make sure you like, follow, and subscribe on all of those platforms, even down here on YouTube. So basically, how it's going to work, I'm going to get FPL up. I've changed my team. So for those who have been keeping up, tomorrow night I am posting my final draft. So I have changed the team. So the team you'll see on screen is not the team I'm going forward, but I'm going to get each team up and go through the players, the player price, and, should we be looking at these players right now? So without further ado, let's get into the action. So here we have it. So obviously, first up is Arsenal. Now this is only attacking returns. So you won't see goalkeepers featured here. So I'm not going to really talk about goalkeepers. We're just going to talk about goals and assists. So starting off with Arsenal. So over pre-season, we had Saliba, we had Gabriel, and we had Zinchenko all get one assist, I believe. No, one goal. Not too bad. Not too bad. Obviously, being a defender, attacking returns, aren't going to be the biggest thing. It's not going to happen on a consistent basis, but we know these guys are, do have an attacking threat. For Saliba and Gabriel, it's mainly from free kicks and corners. They're going to try and finish in the net there. Zinchenko playing as a fullback, pushing up, can get in positions to score and to assist. So Saliba and Gabriel are at 6 mil each. I'm personally not going for an Arsenal defense, but I'm seeing a lot of people trying to get on them a little bit earlier. So you definitely could go those guys. I don't think Zinchenko at 5 mil is worth it just because of their fixtures. But if you do want a cheaper way into the Arsenal defense, you do have Raya there at 5.5. So yep, Saliba, Gabriel, and Zinchenko got on the board. We look over for the midfielders for Arsenal, and Martin Odegaard at 8.5 mil got one assist. Declan Rice actually got two assists, which is surprising. Trossard, I believe, got one goal. And Martinelli was around there with one goal as well, or it was either a goal or an assist. Really, the ones you are looking at, mainly Odegaard at 8.5 if you can't afford Saka. Even though I think Saka is the best Arsenal midfield pick. Just because he's attacking returns. Obviously, he hasn't returned from his vacation, I guess, because of the Euros. So Trossard and Martinelli at 7 are a cheaper option there. I think when their fixtures open up around game week 6, I think that's when they actually become a bit more of an option. So I wouldn't be going there, but it's interesting here. So Kai Havertz at 8 mil, 2 goals, 2 assists, looked really good. Really, really good. It just depends where he's going to play. Is he going to play up front? Is he going to play a 10? Is he going to play potentially on a wing. If Martinelli and Saka are both playing, he probably won't. So he's either going to play the 10 or the 9. I don't mind it. All this preseason, I talked about Havertz and how I think he's going to be a good option, depending where he plays. He's a natural born playmaker. His finishing isn't great, but he can finish from time to time and can get on the scoreboard and has looked great. So is an option there. And Gabriel Jesus at 7 mil had 3 goals and 1 assist. Going off that, you'd probably be leaning towards Jesus, but he is very injury prone and he could be out for months and months and months. Would not be going an Arsenal attacker at the moment, in my opinion, but if I did, I would go Havertz for 8 mil. That's just in my opinion. So that's how Arsenal went. Not too bad. A whole bunch of popular picks got on the board. So yeah, that actually gave us a good insight. So next we'll go to Aston Villa. Not much to talk about in their defense, if I'm being honest. So where we will go is into the midfield, and we have Leon Bailey at 6.5 mil, 1 goal, 1 assist. Someone who I've been looking at. There's been him, there's been Nkuku, there's been Morgan Gibbs White, and a couple of others at that 6.5. So 1 goal, 1 assist from Bailey. I do think he is a decent option. West Ham, Arsenal, and then Leicester. There are chances there. If you can rotate him in that second game week, I probably would, but there is opportunity there for him to score. So that's looking pretty good there. Morgan Rogers is the big one. 3 goals, 2 assists at 5 mil. As we know, West Ham, Leicester, great fixtures there for him. He looks to be nailed. Definitely someone you can look at if you want to go pretty cheap, and someone who looks like he's going to play. At some point, he might become a minutes and rotation risk, so that's the only downside. But at the moment, he's on absolute fire. Again, 3 goals and 2 assists at 5 mil. You could do a lot worse than that. And now we'll just move to the forwards. Watkins, like Saka, not back due to the Euros. But we have Archer here, who scored 3 goals at 5 mil. Probably wouldn't be looking at Archer because when Watkins is back, it's the Watkins show. So Bailey and Rogers, I think, are very good picks here. And with Villa with decent fixtures, could do very, very well. Next is Bournemouth. I actually didn't put anyone down just because I don't think that with their fixtures, if we have a look at their fixtures, Nottingham Forest up first, then you got Newcastle and Everton, who are pretty good defensive, and then it all turns to poo there. So I didn't put any Bournemouth players down just because I don't think that they are a team you should be targeting. But what we will do is we will go to Brentford. And for Brentford, we're going to go into the midfield because we have Mbeumo here at 7 mil, who scored 3 goals and 1 assist at 7 mil. You know, you're there with the likes of Eze, who's a very popular pick. I think Mbeumo's tough just because of their fixtures. So you look here, Crystal Palace and Southampton could definitely get returns there. But then you got Liverpool, Man City, and Spurs. It's a bit off-putting. If you want to go for a differential, you could definitely go Mbeumo there. I think when their fixtures open up, he will be a good pick, though. And then we move to their forwards. So Vissa at 6 mil, 2 goals in pre-season. Not quite sure what's happening with Tony. Is he staying? Is he going? I don't know. So because Thiago's injured, who's the other person at 6 million I wanted to talk about, who scored 2 goals as well, but he is now injured. Expected back the 29th of December. So he's out. So if Tony does not play, you got a Brentford attacker for 6 mil, but we saw their fixtures aren't great apart from the game week 1 and game week 3. So don't know if you would go there, but once their fixtures open up, I think you can definitely look at definitely Mbumo, but maybe Visser as well. As we move to Brighton, we've got Barco on set pieces, taking corners, taking some free kicks. He has been a live wire. At 4 mil could be a great bench option there. We have Mitoma up first, who scored, who got 2 assists at 6.5. You're looking at Nkuku, Bailey, Morgan Gibbs White there. I prefer them, if I'm being honest. But a surprising one is Minter here, who scored 3 goals and 2 assists playing on the wing. Looking at the fixtures, it is very tough, but he is on fire at the moment. And if you want to go a differential at 5.5, you definitely could do that. But it is a risky pick, especially when you have Smith Rowe at 5.5 as well, who's a decent option. And then we move to their forwards. So João Pedro played the 1 game and got the 1 goal, which is good on penalties. But their fixtures are a bit tough. And Welbeck, who played as well, 3 goals and 1 assist, did his thing at 5.5. João Pedro's the go for Brighton, in my opinion, if we're not talking defenders. I think he's the way to go. He's on pens, so he could score in any game depending on what happens. But it is a little bit of a risk. Very injury prone. He's just come back from an injury. Should play game week 1, but it's totally up to you there. Next is Chelsea, my boys. I would not be touching any defenders. Just putting it out there. We move to the midfield. Cole Palmer on vacation. Don't know when he's going to be back. One person who I wanted to speak about is Nkuku, but we'll go with Madueke first, because Madueke, 3 goals and 1 assist, has looked really good on that right-hand side. Do you go him over Nkuku? Probably not at the same price. Nkuku also 3 goals, 1 assist. All those were penalties. So he's on pens when Palmer's not on the field. How long will that be? We are unsure, but looks to be a great option at 6.5. Lavia at 4.5 is someone who's going a little bit under the radar, in my opinion. Chelsea have good fixtures. Obviously, the first one is not great with Man City, but then look at that: Wolves, Palace, Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton, Forest. At 4.5, someone who got 2 assists playing as a CDM, he's looked great. Probably the only defensive player for us so far that has actually looked decent. So I do like him. I don't mind him. If you want to have him off the bench, could definitely look there, and I wouldn't be going anyone else there. And yep, definitely not touching that. You got Dewsbury Hall, who did a little bit, but at 6, I think he's just that little bit too expensive. Crystal Palace is next, And we're going to look into the midfield because you have Jordan Ayew here, who had 2 goals and 2 assists in preseason at 5.5. I'm probably not going there. Look at their fixtures. 2 good fixtures with Brentford and West Ham. Then you got Chelsea, and then it gets a little bit tougher. So, definitely someone who I think you just stay away from. Now, Schlupp did do very well, but at 5 mil, I don't think you go on there. I think he got 3 or 4 goals and 2 to 3 assists. I don't think you're going there. If I'm being honest, Edouard, because Mateta didn't play, I don't know what's going on with Mateta, if he's been traded or if he's coming back from injury. I haven't really looked into that, but Edouard filled in and got 2 goals, 2 assists at 5.5. You could realistically for the first 2 game weeks, but apart from Eze, Anderson, and probably Henderson, I'm probably not looking at Crystal Palace a whole lot. We move to Everton, and the only person we're going to look at is Dominic Calvert-Lewin at 6 mil, 2 goals, 1 assist. Really, if you're not going Mikalenko, you're not going, or Pickford, sorry, you're not looking at anyone else from Everton, really, are you? So 2 goals, 1 assist for DCL. Fulham is an interesting one. We have Robinson here at 4.5, who got 2 assists, so an attacking fullback. We know how attacking he can be and gets in good areas. Someone who I'm definitely looking at for my team. Next is Iwobi at 5.5, 1 goal, 2 assists. Are you going to go an Iwobi over a Smith Rowe? Probably not, are we? So, or a Bailey. No, Bailey's 6.5. Don't worry. 5.5, I'm probably staying away from Iwobi anyway. Smith Rowe at 5.5 though. 3 goals. So pretty sure he played the last 2 games. Still unsure if him or Andreas are on free kicks. Who's going to take what? I am expecting him to be on a few. Definitely be looking to get on a few anyway. So I actually do really like that pick. And Munez, I don't think played. So I do like that Smith Rowe selection, and their fixtures. United up first. Their defense is a bit injured at the moment. So could definitely score there. Then you got Leicester, Ipswich, West Ham, Newcastle should be pretty handy defensively. So maybe a miss there, but then you got Forest. And then, yeah, you could definitely keep Smith Rowe, and at 5.5, you can do a lot worse, in my opinion. But I think Robinson is someone we should all be looking at. Ipswich and Leicester, I just don't think they're relevant, in my opinion. Muric, you can go as a goalkeeper, 4.5. Davis at 4.5, you could, but I just feel like there's better players with better fixtures. And yeah, you're definitely not touching them there. Leicester, you got Faish at 4.0, Justin at 4.5. You've got 2 assists. But again, 4.5, you're probably looking at better options. And yeah, you're just not going there. So that brings us to Liverpool, which is exciting. So Liverpool, you have Trent Alexander-Arnold, who played the last game and got 1 assist. under Arne Slot, going to look to use him a lot, pushing up into that midfield, trying to use him to get the ball over to the wingers in Diaz and Salah so they can cut in and have shots on goal. So if you can fit Trent in, I definitely would. I'm finding it hard at the moment, but you never know what happens between now and the first game week. But I think Trent is a good selection. Mo Salah, 12.5 mil, 1 goal, 2 assists. I'm going, that's not too bad. There's returns there. I think when the season starts, we're going to see him get a bit more attacking because he was playing a little bit wide. I think depending on who they play, he's going to cut in more, get a few more shots. I do like the Salah pick, especially if you can team him with Haaland. Luis Diaz, 7.5, 2 goals in the last game. Same with Salah, play out wide, but then cut in. And the service that he was receiving looked pretty good. So at 7.5, easiest fixtures. What are they? So they have Ipswich, Brentford, United with an injured defence, Forest, Bournemouth, Wolves, Palace, and Chelsea, who can all get scored against. I think he could definitely be a good differential. I've seen a lot of people go Diogo Jota, 1 goal, 3 assists. With Nunes, we're not sure if he's going to start game week 1 or when he's going to return because they had the Copa America. So it looks like he's playing striker. He's a great finisher. The only thing you can have on him really is he's injury prone. But if he stays fit, I prefer Jota over Diaz, if I'm being honest. But if Nunes starts, then he could become a bit of a rotation risk. Szoboszlai, 1 goal, 1 assist. At 6.5, easy fixtures. I'd prefer to try and pay up for a Jota, if I'm being honest. But I still think he could be a great selection, playing at that number 10 and maybe slightly back defensively a little bit, but mostly he's playing at that 10. And I'm not, really going any of these other guys. So I do think Jota and Salah are the best options. Diaz and Szoboszlai as the differentials. And if you can fit Trent in, I would definitely be doing that. Manchester City. No returns from their defense. So we'll go here. Bernardo got, I'm pretty sure it was 1 goal or it was 1 assist. One of those. At 6.5, you're probably not going there. Their fixtures are pretty good. Chelsea, they can definitely score against Ipswich, West Ham, Brentford, and then it gets a little bit tight there, but then it starts to open up. So could be a selection, but not someone who I'm really looking at. Someone who is tickling the fancy is Oscar Bob, who had 2 goals and 4 assists in preseason, playing on the right side, potentially where Foden could be playing, or Bernardo Silva. But he's put his name up. He's looked great through preseason, and as I said, 2 goals and 4 assists is insane. Jack Grealish, who's someone who I missed at 6.5, what to say, muscle injury, 50% chance of playing. He had 1 goal in preseason. And of course, Erling Haaland at 15 mil, 5 goals. So put him in. Chelsea looking crap defensively. And then, as we saw, their fixtures open up. So I think he is an essential. Manchester United. Are we really going anyone from Manchester United? Bruno, 1 goal, just 1 assist at 8.5, penalty taker, free kick taker. How are their fixtures? I'm pretty sure their fixtures are half decent. So Fulham, Brighton, then you got Liverpool, Southampton, Palace who can get scored on, Spurs, depending how the Spurs are going defensively. But yeah, I'm probably staying away. I'd probably look at him at game week 8 and try and get him from 8 to 13, where it opens up a little bit. And even this game against Chelsea, defensively, they're not great. So that could be a time where you own him. Garnacho, I'm pretty sure he had a goal in there. Rashford had 1 goal, 2 assists. Is he back to his best at 7 mil? We'll find out. I don't want to go on him early just because we don't know. But he's looking to bounce back. She'll get a few more minutes this season. So someone definitely to keep an eye on. And you're not going for their attackers at the moment. We move to Newcastle. All right. First up is Livramento at 4.5. Quickly look at their fixtures: Southampton, Bournemouth, then Spurs, Wolves, and then Fulham. Pretty good fixtures. The only problem with Livramento is it all depends if Kieran Trippier leaves. If he stays, Livramento is a definite miss. Do not go near him because on that right side, that's where Trippier plays. And obviously they would prefer Trippier than Livramento. But if Trippier leaves, Livramento could be a great asset. He's an attacking fullback, likes to get up the ground, whip the ball in, and with the players that Newcastle have, they could actually do really well. But someone who I prefer over him is Lewis Hall, who had 1 goal and 2 assists. He's playing on the left side, looks to be nailed on there, especially early. And with those good fixtures, looks to be a great asset. They're both the same, but uncertainty with Trippier, so Hall is probably the way to go. Where is we're over here. Gordon played the last game and had 1 goal. Definitely take that. Also, Livramento got an assist. I forgot to say that. Someone who is very interesting is at 5.5, Jacob Murphy, who had 4 goals and 3 assists. He was everywhere. He scored in every game. Big playmaker. Does he start? So, Gordon, Bruno, are they going to really play anyone else? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Murphy's good to go. Murphy's Law, 5.5. I think it's between him and Smith Rowe at that 5.5 price. Who you want to go? Tough because they both have good fixtures. But if Murphy can keep his form up, that would be very hard to ignore. And Isaac, 3 goals, 1 assist at 8.5. I think he is a lock, in my opinion. So definitely keep an eye on Murphy. For Newcastle, moving on, Nottingham Forest. So Aina here, 4.5, got an assist. Probably not going near just because. Bournemouth, Southampton, Wolves, Liverpool, Brighton, Fulham. If I'm going someone, I'm probably going Murillo over Aina. He is a bit more attacking. and is a better option in my opinion. Gibbs White didn't get much game time. If he did, he didn't do much. Alanga is someone at 5.5, 1 goal, 1 assist. Again, Murphy, Smith Rowe, they're going to go there. Probably not. Someone who could enter is Hudson Odoi at 5.5. 1 goal, 3 assists, playing on that right-hand side. He interests me. He really does. If we get any word on if Murphy's not going to play or Smith Rowe isn't on set pieces, Hudson Odoi looks great. Obviously, he isn't on those set pieces because Gibbs White takes them all. But Hudson Odoi 5.5 is looking really, really good, and someone who is in very tempting to go. Sangare at 4.5, 1 goal, probably staying away at 4.5, unless you want a guy who is a rotation risk, in my opinion, who could get you some points if someone's not playing, but probably not going there. And lastly, it is Chris Wood at 6. He had 3 goals and 2 assists. Someone who I've had in previous drafts and I've spoken about. Looks to be the main guy, but Awani, if I've butchered that, I apologize. He could quite easily take over from Wood. Wood did well last season when he was injured, so that's the only concern there with Wood. But I still like Gibbs White. I just wanted to say that I still like him as an option, but Hudson Odoi is probably someone who I will definitely be keeping an eye on. Now, we've got Southampton. We're not going to look at their defense for good reason. We are going to look at Burton Diaz. He played the last game and had 1 goal. Looks like he'll be playing on the left side. Attacking returns are a good chance at 5.5. Again, those other guys, they're just hard to go past. So definitely a differential there. Actually, I did want to talk about Harwood Ballas at 4 mil. He did get 1 goal. Can play centre back, can play a fullback. Most likely will be playing a centre back. 4 mil. He's nailed on. He's going to get you 1 to 2 points each game. The odd goal here and there could definitely be an option. But the big one is Armstrong at 5.5. He had 3 goals in preseason. Playing as the main striker is very tempting. How are their fixtures? Newcastle up front, probably not great, but then it opens up with Forest, Brentford, United, could definitely score there, Ipswich and Bournemouth. If you want to go cheaper up forward, you could definitely do that. We're almost done here. We've got Spurs up next. Pedro Porro had 2 goals. Very attacking fullback. I wish I could fit him in, but you can't fit everyone in. I'm going to try because they do have good fixtures for the first 2, Leicester and Everton, then 2 hard ones. So if you could rotate him, because Newcastle and Everton look pretty good defensively, but then after that it opens up Brentford, injured United, Brighton, West Ham, Palace, Villa and Ipswich. And even after City, you've got more there. I think if you can fit him in, you definitely should. Sonny Boy at 10 mil, 3 goals and 1 assist. Looked very, very good. Will he be on set pieces? Who knows? Because if you have not seen, Dominic Solanke has signed. So he will be the main striker. I think that's good for Son. They have someone there who can actually finish. So he could be a chance for more assists. So at 10 mil, I think he's going a little bit under the radar. Does it say how many teams he's in? Not at the moment, but I definitely someone to look at. Kulusevski, 3 goals, 3 assists at 6.5. I'm not sure if he's going to be consistently starting on that right-hand side. At 6.5, though, if he keeps 3 goals, 3 assists, he could definitely be someone to look at. Werner at 6.5, 2 assists, big rotation risk would not be going there. Someone interesting, though, is Bergvall. Two assists, has looked pretty decent in preseason. Does he get a start? And it's a bit up in the air. So definitely could be someone you have on your bench. But I would look out there. And Solanke, definitely, I think, hasn't played a game for Spurs and has come out and said he's in at 7.5. I think he's almost a must have. As we move to West Ham, we have so none of the defense, but we will look at Ward-Prowse, who got 1 assist. Not sure how many games he played, but just the 1 assist at 6.5. You know, he's on set pieces. Just better options out there. How are their fixtures looking, though? Villa, Palace. Yeah, look, it's not. He could obviously score. He's on free kicks. He's a free kick master, but probably not going there. At 6.5, I would prefer Mohamed Kudus, who had 2 goals, 1 assist, can play in the middle, can play up front, can play on the right, can play on the left. He can play anywhere. Very attacking, loves to take a shot. I do like him as a pick. Tough fixtures do hurt, though. Paqueta at 6. What did he have? He had 1 goal, 1 assist. Probably look, just crossing him off. And Antonio had 1 goal and 1 assist as well with the tough fixtures. Even though he's 5.5, injury prone, you have Fulkrug there who's going to start. So there's a big rotation risk. So definitely crossing out Antonio. And we move to the last team, which is Wolves. Not a whole lot to talk about here. Aiden Nuri had 1 assist. Their fixtures aren't great to start off. But from game week 9 onwards, I think he is a great selection at 4.5. Attacking fullback, likes to get up the field. We move to the midfield. He-Chan at 6.5, 1 goal, 2 assists. Could be an option, but their fixtures, and at 6.5, and Nkuku, Gibbs White, Bailey as well. Pretty tough there. Sarabia at 5.5, 1 goal, 2 assists. Could be someone a little bit cheaper, but then you got Smith Rowe and Murphy. Again, not going there. And we move to Cunha at 6.5. He had 2 goals. So again, Cunha could be someone, if he's fit, you go after when their fixtures open up at game week 9. So there you have it. That's all the teams, all the relevant players in my opinion, how they went in preseason, goals and assists. Obviously, defenders and goalies, most of them didn't get a talk about just because they're not super attacking. Those centre backs like your Konzas, your Ben Mees. And I didn't have Anderson from Crystal Palace because he scored 3 own goals and he didn't do anything else. So that's going to do it for today. I hope you really enjoyed this. I'm going to post the full list on Twitter and on Facebook. So at BreakEvens Pod on Twitter and the BreakEvens Facebook page. Make sure you follow and you like them. You'll have every player, goals, assists, everything there. I'm going to put that in a big thread. So make sure you go over there and you look out for that. Saturday night or tomorrow night, if you're watching this on the Friday, I'm going to have my game week 1 draft. And I'm going to talk about a few players who could change. So keep an eye out for that. And I'm 50-50 on if I'm going to do an FPL predictions video. I'm definitely going to do one on Twitter, but not sure if I'm going to do it on a video, but that could definitely come Thursday night. So it would have already been out, but I shall see. So that's going to do it for today. It was a bit of a long one, but a lot of information there. And hopefully this helped with those 50-50 selections, or it just made things worse. And if it did, I apologize. But thank you all again for watching. And until next time, it's bye for now.